Okay, so you probably just watched number 1. I'm doing a number 2, so I don't make these videos too long. So yeah, we were just talking about the valves here. I cleaned those up pretty good. This is the centrifugal starter thing for the starter. It pushes the gear up. This gear right here. So this gear would go on here, and then all this whole assembly goes onto the starter, and this is what turns the starter. Yeah, so this right here is the sump, or the bottom of the crank case. I cleaned it up really good. There was about a 1/4-inch layer of just aluminum and pieces of metal in here. I didn't make a video on it because it was just so bad. I cleaned it up, and just thought I'd make a video afterwards. I cleaned up all this surface with a cookie, and I keep saying cookie, probably making you hungry, but I'll show you what the cookies are. There's a seal down in here. That seal right there, it's a little bit worn, and if you're blowing these seals out left and right and you're leaking oil all the time, I'm going to almost guarantee it's because you're having this problem with the crankshaft counterweights, where the races are worn out, and it's causing a misbalance and also causing your crankshaft to move a little like that. And when that moves a little, it wears this seal out. And you can see mine has, you can see a little bit of wear on mine. The dull spots are the wear spots, where it's not shiny, it looks dull. But yeah, I cleaned this all up. It was pretty oily, you can imagine, because it was leaking oil out of this seal here, and it was also leaking out of my the case seal right there. It was leaking a lot. So, and that was the original reason why I tore this thing open. I wasn't even planning on taking all the guts out, but that's what wound up happening. Here's my pulley. This is my driver pulley that comes off of the engine. This is actually the deck pulley off the original pulley setup. So this is the bigger pulley out of the 2 pulleys that I made, and I didn't make a video on that, but I did pretty much like a couple of people do on YouTube. Can't think of their names right off the hand, but they cut this key part. You can see the little keyway in there, right there. There's a keyway that goes down to about here, and I cut this off of the top of the small pulley, and I welded it on here. And then I shortened this shaft, which is this was longer, where the other pulley used to be. And then I just welded a washer right there, a nice thick washer, and then so my original bolt will fit. This is my original bolt for this. I didn't have to go buy a new bolt or nothing. I just measured how long it needed to be, and then I just cut it, and I welded a washer on it, and now that's what holds my pulley onto the output shaft of the engine. Here's my fan for the fan housing that cools down the engine. A lot of people take off the tops of the fans, the fan housings, And they also take off the shields that go around the engine thinking it's going to keep their engine cooler. That's not true. You want to keep these fans on. Well, yeah, of course you want to keep the fan on, but you also want to keep the housing on, the shroud, and you want to keep all the little metal pieces around the head, because those actually direct the air from the housing around the engine. It directs the air all around here. All those little shroud, those little metal things that go up to the fan shroud, all those little metal pieces are there for a reason. It actually pushes the air through these fins and allows the engine to stay cooler. So by taking those off, you're not helping it, you're actually hurting it. Let's see here. I cleaned up all my bolts with a wire brush. Made sure they're all nice and clean. And cleaned up the head bolts. Here's my cam. These cam lopes right here, they were a little bit scored from the metal shavings and the oil at the bottom of the engine. There was, because the little metal shavings were being flung around. But I took my cookie and I just took the scores out a little bit. It didn't affect the how the throw or anything at all. I just took off maybe like a thousandth of an inch or whatever off of there. So yeah, that's good. It's all nice and clean. That's a casting stuff. But here's my head. There was no leaks or nothing. But I cleaned this all up. When I took this off, it was so full of stuff. You can see there. All the there's still a little bit of stuff in there, but I'm not worried about that. I took my cookie and I cleaned all of this out, cleaned all the surface off, so when I go to put it back together, it has a perfect seal. Nobody will see that. That's just a little bit of blow by of the paint. But yeah, I painted this with a truck bed liner. So yeah, that's pretty nice. It has a nice finish to it. And this is also a part of the shroud system. I went ahead and painted that with some truck bed liner too. And then here's my flywheel. And that's where the starter gear sits on here. And those are the holes where the rivets were at. And if you look on this side, that there, see, I had to drill them out a little bit. So, but it'll still be fine. I only went in about maybe a little over a quarter inch, maybe like 3/8 of an inch in there, and popped them out with a hammer and a screwdriver in there and just popped those suckers out. But I cleaned this all up. I cleaned as much rust out of there as I could, and I primered it, and I cleaned off all these magnets, so they're really nice now. And then on this side, you can see I used the truck bed liner. You can see some texture there, little handprint there, but yeah, it's real nice, durable. And if you're asking why did I clean all these magnets off, and I cleaned off, the stator over there on that and made it all shiny, it's because it'll charge your battery better and give you a better spark and make your headlights work better if your headlights don't run off the battery. And then this, the connecting rod, I checked that. It's a machine surface, no bearing, there's no race or anything that goes in there. It's just a machine surface against against the crank right here. It just goes right here. Two machine surfaces against each other. And I checked the pin right there, the piston pin. It moves left and right, but there is no play up and down. It's solid. So I cleaned all this up. Now this is pretty cool part. I used my cookie on here too. You can see the swirl marks, but there's no unevenness. It's even. Those are just swirl marks from the cookie. But yeah, there's no. It's nice and flat now. There's no gouge marks from where it was running. Smooth, just like the cylinder now. And actually, the rings are really good shape. They were surprisingly in good shape. And I took the cookie to the top too. You can still see the original swirl marks from the machining. So that's telling you I'm not really taking any material off that much. As far as the aluminum goes, I just took off all the crap and oil and soot and crud, carbon that was on there. But yeah, that's in really good shape. I cleaned this up. That's the governor / oil flicker. These are my push rods, and I cleaned these all up too. I marked them. That one's I for intake. And this one's E for exhaust. It's really good to make sure you put things back where they were because of the way they wear. You know, they could wear differently. Here's the counterweight arm and the connecting rod other sleeve. Connecting rod thing, and I didn't do anything to this. That's just how it was when I pulled it out. It's smooth. There's no wear in it at all. So I just left that as is. And the pin was like that. There's no wear on it. Pretty much all the machine surfaces, except for the counterweights, all the other machine surfaces on the engine were fine. And I got the crank here. I got about a minute left. Here, you guys check out number 3, and I'm gonna start another one, okay? See you on the next one.